Matt Bernier with the Sunday DRFBets race of the day for July the 15th. Race number 10, Lone Star Park. We have the Texas Futurity, 2-year-olds going 5 furlongs on the main track. I'd encourage you to head on over to drf.com/bet and take a look at all the latest offers for a new DRFBets account. And again, drf.com/bet is the address. Let's take a look at the field of 12 2-year-olds that are scheduled to go in the Texas Futurity. You can head over to the Race of the Day page on drf.com, download free formulator past performances, and handicap along as we whip through this field in post position order. The number 1, Lullaby Bling. Impressive debut winner down at Lone Star on June the 23rd. This was a horse that went off and won by 6 1/4 lengths, mid-pack, between horses, loomed on the far turn, finished willingly. The dam was 2 for 9 overall. Both victories came on turf. This one is a full to Bling on the music. It was a multiple stakes winner. Really no knocks about Lullaby Bling. The inside post is going to be a little bit difficult to overcome, but should get a decent pace to run at and has a little bit of tactical speed. We talk about the pace situation. Here's the Timeform US pace projector for the Texas Futurity. You can see there's no designation. Not fast, not slow. And they have the number 12 horse out there on the front end, followed by the 6 and the 2. The 1 just in behind those. I think Lullaby Bling can make out a decent trip and could be a major player in this spot. The 2 is Big Bobby Brown. Hate to say it, Big Bobby Brown, blinkers go on. The buyer is respectable, but the way this race sets up on paper, I have a hard time imagining this horse getting over the hump. Showed some speed in the career debut at Louisiana Downs. Just got run down late. You see that the 3rd place finisher came back to graduate next out, only with a 30 buyer, though. Big Bobby Brown needs to jump up his game in a big, big way. The 3 is Quepaza Bernardini. Blinkers come off for this horse. I hate to say it. This horse really hasn't shown anything in 2 lifetime starts. You're going to need to hope that the equipment change really wakes him up because he has shown no ability whatsoever thus far, and he would probably appreciate a very, very hot pace early on. The number 4 is BB Dude going out for Steve Asmussen. I thought this horse was impressive in the career debut. Stalked in the clear, loomed, sent along, and finished nicely. The 2nd place finisher, Carter Cat, he came back and earned a 73 buyer in his next start, but now the problem becomes the 3rd and 4th place finishers. The 3rd place finisher came back to earn a 24 in his next start, and the 4th place finisher a 50 buyer. So you need to make a decision what you think of that race that this horse ran in BB Dude back on June the 1st at Churchill Downs. I thought it was impressive from a speed figure standpoint. It came back light. He's going to need to improve. It is worth noting he is a sibling to multiple 2-year-old winners. BB Dude is 8 to 1 for Asmussen and Ricardo Santana Jr. The 5 is Georgia Deputy. Georgia Deputy is still a maiden at this point in his brief career. 0 for 3 thus far. Did take that big step forward here in start number 3. Moved his buyer up to a mid-50. If you think there's another forward move here, perhaps he is an interesting runner in this spot. He is a sibling to Peach Brew, and she's all in. They were both multiple stakes winners. So there are some things to like from a pedigree standpoint. He's another one, though, that would really appreciate a hot and contested pace out on the front end. He's 15 to 1 on the morning line. The number 6 is Stupefy, going out for Steve Asmussen as well. Earned a 64 buyer in the career debut. That was back on May the 24th. Won in Gates of Wire fashion. The interesting thing about this horse to me, cleared to the front, thought it was a very easy lead, but I think that in a way that's a positive, a feather in this horse's cap that he was able to stretch out and get out there that easily. Showed some legitimate early speed, sold for $110,000. This is a Kentucky bred. The pedigree overall is a little bit more turfy than dirt, so not suggesting that he's not going to be able to be competitive in a spot like this. Heck, he's 5 to 2 on the morning line, but it just feels like I wonder. The dam was 1 for 9 overall, and that one victory came on turf. The siblings are turf winners. Just all the pedigree with Twirling Candy, it feels like he's much more turfy than dirt, but at the same time, look, he could easily win in a spot like this. That 64 buyer back on May the 24th, if you think he takes a slight step forward, he has a big, big chance in here for Asmussen. He's 5 to 2 on the morning line. The 7 is your morning line favorite. That's Wakefield. Goes out for Carl Broberg. We have a positive formulator fact for Carl Broberg. Past 5 years, dirt, maiden winner last out, 2nd time starter, non-graded stakes race. 4 for 12, 6 in the money with a 191 ROI. I thought this horse was impressive. Hustled along out of the gate. Loomed moving well in the clear and finished determinedly down the lane. I know that interior fraction was color-coded blue, but I still think it was an impressive enough effort. The runner-up, Little Avenger, he came back to break his maiden in his next start with a 63 buyer speed figure, and, they were only almost 18 lengths clear of the 3rd place finisher. So I think it was a good effort. And I think Wakefield, plain and simple, he deserves to be the favorite in a spot like this. Wouldn't be surprised at all if he wins. 69 buyer was the highest last out in the entire field. The dam was no great shake. She was 3 for 35 overall, but she was stakes placed. I kind of look at this son of Munnings and say, you know what, he's going to be able to work at a decent trip. He has a little bit of tactical speed like he debuted in that career debut, or he showcased in that career debut, I should say. I think Wakefield is strictly the horse to beat in a race like this. The question comes down to price. What does he ultimately go off at? He's 2-1 on the morning line. Shark is a horse that debuted for Danny Pish, and you know what, this horse didn't do a heck of a lot in the career debut, beaten by over 7 lengths. I suppose if you get some pace to run at, this one could be okay. Going to be mid-pack, I would imagine, throughout. But the 32 buyer is just too light right now, and he really needs to improve. When you consider we've got a horse breaking just the inside in Wakefield who earned a 69 in the career debut, looks like Shark is up against it. Silver and Aces, I think, is fascinating. If there weren't other proven runners that had showed a little bit of ability in their career debuts, I'd be more interested in Silver and Aces, and I would actually consider picking him. But unfortunately, I think there is a little bit of ability in this field. Silver City, the sire, is 20.5% with the 2-year-old first-time starters. The Dam is 3 for 14 in dirt sprints. This one is a sibling to a stakes winner called Galactica. You've got a gate drill in 48-3 most recently. A little bit light as far as the overall tab is concerned, but Silver and Aces, to me, if you just needed to take an absolute stab, you could do worse, I think, than Silver and Aces. I think this is a little bit of a mildly intriguing runner at odds of 30-1. The 10 Auto Parts don't have much to recommend here. Some of the Parts was a nice horse. He is the sire, stands for $2,000. The Dam was 2 for 6 on dirt routing. This horse is 50-1. The workouts don't suggest a heck of a lot right now. Wait and see at odds of 50-1. The 11 is Moro Charlie. I think Moro Charlie is a little bit interesting in here as well. We have a positive formulator fact for Brett Calhoun, his trainer. Past year, first time blinker, second time start. 2 for 4 with a 5.05 ROI. This horse stalked, was outrun on the turn, and made me a little bit concerned. Finished with some interest, was late with a lead change. I thought all around it was just a green effort. Now you get the blinkers on. Hopefully that sharpens this horse up. And really, to me, the big difference there was if the horse doesn't get outrun on the turn, this horse probably at least threatens to break the maiden in the career debut. Shows up in this spot as a maiden. That doesn't bother me. I think you're going to get a forward move here. I think Moro Charlie is very, very interesting. Wouldn't surprise me at all if this horse ended up getting the job done, at which should be a decent number. And the last runner in this field is the outside runner, number 12, E-rated. Another one going out for Brett Calhoun. The Dam was 2 for 7 on turf. The career debut, I was very impressed by. Contested the pace and drew off late. Finished very, very well. The buyer of 54, a little bit on the light side, but I think he can certainly take a step forward. And I like that he went out there and set legitimate fracks, and they were contested, and he went on, put away that other horse, and just drew off. The fractions are all color-coded red, meaning they were fast throughout in that career debut on June the 23rd. The outside draw, in normal circumstances, you would be a little bit concerned that, okay, is he going to get hung wide? He looks like he could be the speed of the speed. I think you just send him Jamie Terrio. There's not a lot to think about. Break, get him out of there, try to clear off, and say, come and catch me. I think E-rated has a big, big chance in here. 8-1 on the morning line. If you could tell me 8-1, yeah, I'm not picking him, but I would be very, very intrigued in trying to make some sort of a Dutch wager as far as win ends are concerned. E-rated, I think, is a major player in the 10th race at Lone Star on Sunday. It's the DRFBets race of the day. Let's take a look at the pick. Where am I going to go in here? I'm going to go with the 4 BB Dude. I was impressed with that effort for Asmussen and Ricardo Santana. I think there's a scenario where he works at a very good trip in this spot. He's going to need to run faster earlier than he did in that career debut, but I just like the way that he moved. And again, that runner-up, I'm going to hopefully side with the fact that Carter Cat, the runner-up in that debut, who came back to earn a 73 buyer, that is actually the accurate sort of assessment of that race as opposed to the 3rd and 4th place finishers. For me, BB Dude is the horse that I want in this spot. I'm going to go 4, 7, 12, and 6 in the 10th at Lone Star Park on Sunday. It is the Texas Futurity. I would encourage you again to head on over to drf.com/bet. You can get all the latest as far as details and offers are concerned for a new DRFBets account. Play this race as well as all the other races at Lone Star on Sunday afternoon. drf.com/bet is the address. The Sunday DRFBets race of the day, the Texas Futurity, race number 10 at Lone Star Park. Scheduled post time is 7:01 Central. Best of luck.